Somebody took a bite out of Alexis and Justin's relationship.
I wonder if Miss Alexis still think that marriage is a piece of cake.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But we shall see. Welcome to Cliff Alert, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 15, episode number 7.
But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please send us your comments. So here we go.
Yeah, Alexis and Justin are coming back to San Diego from their honeymoon and returning to their new shared apartment that they're going to be living in for the next 8 years.
Yeah, and they like the space. It seemed well appointed.
Mm-hmm.
They like what they see. So
seated on the couch, you know.
They're hanging out.
Right.
They're talking about the future. They're talking about their animals.
Yeah, but you know what, though? It seems like reality of being back home and being married together.
They both look scared.
Yep, they look a little apprehensive.
And Justin more than Alexis.
For the first time, I think.
Yeah, for the first time I'm not seeing this sort of, casual, oh, we got it together, we're the it couple because we're in love. And as I said last week, I don't think that they're there yet. Could be infatuation, but I could be wrong.
Both seemed uncertain about what's going to happen.
They look scared. He looks scared.
Yeah.
And we one of the reasons we get to know why. So in this episode, the couples get to go to each other's apartments and see where they
how the other one lives.
Right.
Yes.
So we see Justin at Alexis'
house. Right.
And she's an artist. She has a lot of her paintings up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going around, and there's a piece that he's attracted to. Alexis has a nice apartment. You can tell.
Yeah. Okay.
And she looks like she's clean.
Mm-hmm.
From what we can actually see.
Okay, yeah.
So they're talking, and she's talking about her baby. Her language for her animal is her baby. Mm-hmm. And they're showing her dog, and you could tell the love and care. And she's telling him, oh, don't talk about the dog like that. Put some feelings on his name because it's her love,
her baby.
It's her emotional stability. It's her everything.
Right, her baby.
So then we see them.
We transition to Justin's apartment,
and I was surprised. His spot looked like it was a room in college.
Well, it looked like to me like it was a studio apartment. It was he had a nice view or whatever of the city, skyline or whatever. And all, but it looked like a studio apartment to me.
Yeah, and they are in San Diego, and San Diego housing is expensive, so I get it. But I was just surprised how tiny this place is. Mm-hmm. And when she stepped out on the balcony, evidently the apartment building was on a flight
path. Yeah.
So you could hear the planes going over, and she was like, my God, I wouldn't be able to deal with it.
Yeah, she was kind of a little apprehensive, shall we say, about how she would react in a place like that.
And she asked him, like, okay, where do you work? And he said he worked on the balcony. Mm-hmm. And when friends come over, that's their spot to hang out. Mm. He looked at his bed, and she asked him if he tidied stuff up because he looked like
he's a single guy. Okay, all right.
How old is he?
30-something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
So.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Right. Then the pets make an appearance.
Now, from what I know, watching there's this show Caesar.
Okay.
Been watching him for a long time.
Okay.
Now,
who is Caesar?
Caesar is a pet whisperer.
Okay.
He comes into people's home when they're having problems with their animals.
Okay.
And if a dog is aggressive.
Behavioral problems.
Exactly.
On the part of the pet. Okay,
right.
I got you.
he teaches people how to deal with that
Right,
and
and
not
what
be afraid because the animal could sense
picks up
that.
on that. Yes, indeed.
But one of the things that I have seen him do is when you're introducing two animals,
Yeah.
you don't have them walking around each other. You put them in a separate spot so they can see each other. When Maya
Yeah, that's Justin's dog.
met Alexa's dog,
Yeah.
she growled.
She growled, yes.
And I was surprised that Justin didn't like pull
Separate,
her, get closer down to her leash,
yeah, and
and
separate
maybe
Maya, pull her back a little bit.
take her to another room,
Right.
because she's already indicating, okay, I don't know this
Right,
dog
another
looks
dog
like
in
a
my
meal
space,
in
right,
my space,
right,
and you're in it.
Right.
So where am I? And
Right.
again, this is the dog's first night together.
Yes, yes.
So they didn't give the animals a chance to really settle down.
Get used to, yeah, Annie.
And then we find out that Justin knew that his dog may have some problems because he had some biting issues in the past.
Yeah.
So long that the dog could just walk wherever.
Yeah,
I would guide the animal.
She needs to be kind of on a tighter leash.
Tighter leash. And then Alexa, baby, is just walking around.
Yeah.
And it was no surprise when the bigger dog bit the smaller dog.
I think it happened shortly after, or was it shortly before Baloo made his entrance, the cat.
And then a cat too.
Yeah.
They did this in my word a little
Improperly?
recklessly.
Yes, I would agree.
And I don't want an animal to be hurt, but it was unfortunate to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a kind of way just seeing that.
Yeah, I think he definitely made some mistakes, and they both made mistakes. But I think that if he knew that Maya had previous incidences where she would bite for whatever reasons, then it's incumbent upon him to kind of like really be cautious, proceed with caution if he's going to introduce his dog to his wife's new dog.
Right.
Okay. So
because sometimes that in itself takes some time. You
Right.
have to let
Right.
the animals sort of acclimate to each other.
Exactly.
So
and I don't think that happened.
She left immediately, went to an emergency place
Right.
to
try to get it taken care of.
Next day we see her with the dog with a cone around his neck.
Right.
And Justin
Yes.
driving Maya to
A dog training kennel.
I mean, it was so sorrowful.
It was, man.
And then Maya, they
I'll
put
wait from everybody.
Maya in a cage, and he said he had Maya when she was 5 weeks old.
Yeah.
Maya probably has never been in a cage.
Well, I don't know.
And Maya's like, what are
where
you
you
doing?
going? Yeah, where you going?
What's going on here?
Yeah, I think Justin realized, well, hey, look, I finally got to deal with this biting issue, and I got to deal with it in a serious way, because I can't have my wife's dog attacked by my dog if we're going to blend these families together successfully. I can't.
Well, again, Justin, evidently in a conversation, he told her that he would get rid of Maya. But any man, any woman have a pet since they've been 5 weeks. They're not giving up their pet. I'm sorry.
They're not going to be in a rush to do that.
No.
I don't care what he. If ever. You're right. So I don't know why he would have said something like that if he wasn't really, really understanding or honest about his true intentions regarding that. I don't think he's planning on doing that.
Having a pet when they was a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and then because of an incident you're giving them up. That's a hard road to travel.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Justin will tell her that lie, because it is a lie.
Yeah, and one of the things that kind of bothered me about the whole incident, especially when they were conveying it to Pastor Robeson, who came by to visit him and find out how things are going, was that he broke down and started crying.
Oh my
and I'm like,
God!
Come on, I know you're an emotional
he
guy.
uses that to me in a manipulative kind of way.
A
yes.
tool to manipulate.
To not deal with his emotions, not deal with the stuff he tells people, to not be accountable for the stuff that he does.
I was just wondering where it came from. As out of left field.
Right. And the pastor even asked him, why are you crying?
Right. And I think one of the things that I got out of that part of their session, their meeting, if you will, is that you got to give each other leeway to be human. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
what
but
Pastor Roberson reminded both of them.
yeah, but Alex
Alexis.
Alexis is already giving him the side eye. She's already telling us that she can't trust anything he said.
Right, and Alexis makes it clear that as far as Justin is concerned, he needs to be able to communicate much better, more
Right.
effectively.
Right.
And then on the other side, the flip side of it is that Justin feels like Alexis should, or he wants Alexis to give Maya another chance.
Do you think she's gonna give that dog another chance?
They're hard pressed.
I wouldn't. People are different
About
around
their
their
pets, I know.
animals.
I know. As it relates to their pets, people
Will go buck wild for their
No
children and their
And their
animals.
pets.
I wonder how Miss Alexis feel
Well,
because
she's
this
clearly
is,
having a hard time trusting him.
this is the test right now.
This is a test to see how they're going to deal with it and how he's going to be able to communicate moving forward without crying. Hopefully about about issues that are going to come up for them down the
He
road
need to put those tears to the side
and deal with stuff.
and deal with stuff.
I agree. I agree.
Because right now he's coming across as being a little manipulative and not taking accountability for his shortcomings.
And we've seen him cry or break down how many times now?
Since the show started.
Right.
On
Every episode.
on multiple occasions.
Right, every episode maybe? I don't know. I'm not keeping track, but I'm just saying.
You are keeping track. That's what we're doing now.
Oh, y'all caught that one, right? Okay. Anyway, but enough is enough with that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Anyway, there's some more upset coming around these animals. I hope they can pull it together, but I know where I stand, and this is a big test for them.
No
as a
question
couple.
about it, and
I hope they pass it.
I do too, but for them to pass it, they're going to need to really understand that they can't be, as you said, so reckless and callous in their approach to introducing animals like that.
Right. Right.
That have never spent any time around each other, don't know each other,
Right.
and in the same space.
Exactly.
They can't do that. They can't do
Even
that.
to get an animal from the pound, you have to go and meet the animal before they will
share a little bit of space,
right, before they will let you have it.
Yeah, they've got to get your scent and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a whole lot. There's an introductory process that they have to go through to figure out whether or not it's the right match. Yeah.
And the moment you hear any dog growling, he's trying to tell you something.
They're threatened. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's all we have. We'd like to thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next bit.
Bye.
Thank you. Love on your animals.
For sure.